Следващия лектор е Игор Горбенко, дигитален менеджер на Serpstat за външните пазари на фирмата Австралия, САЩ и други. Моля, посрещнете го.
Hi everyone, my presentation will be in English, so I hope that you all understand right, what I'm saying. By the show of hands, how many of you speak English? Awesome. How many of you have used or using or know about Serpstat? Also, okay, great. I have a laser pointer, so maybe someone wants to raise hand and go blind. I can point in the eye if you want to know. Okay, so my speech will be about marketing analysis, which is not actually for SEOs, but for your clients. We all have the problem of lazy clients, you know, the ones that don't get involved too much with SEO, but they want something to see as a result. There are lots of solutions for that, like graphs, you send them reports and everything. But with the type of marketing analysis that I'll show you here, you can send them, or they can log in to see the daily reports on how their market share is changing for their project, if it's growing or if it's going down, based on the visibility. You all know that we have a metric called visibility in Serpstat. Those who use it is like the first one that you see as you enter the domain. Do you guys know how that works, the visibility? Someone here? You do know. Well, who else? We have a lot of questions, so you all don't understand how it works. It's basically a combination of metrics such as how many keywords the domain ranks for in top 100 results of Google, the search volume of those keywords, and the exact position of the domain. So in layman terms, for example, if my domain ranks for 3 keywords, first position for the keyword with 50 monthly searches, 5th position for a keyword with 300 monthly searches, and 75th for the keyword with like 100,000 monthly searches. So the third keyword will not add to my visibility because 75th position is basically 0 results. 0 shows, like no one will go to the 7th page of Google for that keyword to see your website. But the first two, the first position for like 50 keywords will give you an estimate, like within the visibility, 100% visibility for that keyword. So you're the first one, so you get the score on that. The lower your position goes, the lower percent of that visibility you get. So the metric is not that complex, if you understand, and here I will show you how we applied that metric, the visibility, to rank tracking. This is an obligatory slide. You can write down my contacts. You can find me downstairs during the break. I'll be next to the Serpstat banner. You can ask all your questions. You can send them to my email, or you can find me on Facebook and ask anything. Usually people ask things not related to my presentation or anything, so like, why is my website not showing up on Serpstat? Stuff like that. I answer those as well. So if you have such questions, just go ahead and send me an email or a message to the Facebook. So we will analyze in Serps. We are a rank tracker. You all probably know what rank tracker is and how it works, right? So you get daily or once every 3 days or once every week, depending on how you set it up. You get the data on how high your website ranks for a certain keyword, the one that you used. And from that data, you can get way more than just seeing how high you rank. As I was saying, you can see the SERP dynamics. If you monitor all 100 results, you can see who's growing inside the SERP, who's going down, if there's a new competitor appears or someone is lost, and all of these things as well. And all of this can be combined to calculate the market share size. And by market share size, I don't mean to like the market in whole, like in general, yeah, like we have websites selling laptops, so there is a market for laptops. But to analyze the whole market for laptops, you'll have to account for advertising on the street, the word of mouth, the prices, and so on and so forth. So in this case, the market we're talking about is made-up metric, so to say. It depends on just the keywords that you have selected. So you only want to calculate your market share size for the keywords that include your location, like Sofia, Bulgaria, for only a certain model of laptops. So you get the keywords for that, and you create your own, so to say, market. And within this group of keywords, you monitor your own growth or downfall. This is what this project will show you. I'll show you at the end how it works and how it looks like. So to make it work, you have to find the list of keywords to create your own market, right? So we're working with laptops, so you have to find all of the keywords that have some search volume that people have entered into Google search engine about laptops. Where to buy a laptop, how much a laptop costs, and so on and so forth. There are thousands of those related to laptops, especially the big niche. The search volume of the keywords to decide how important each keyword within this market domain's position for that keyword, and if you have access to API of your rank tracker, that makes you not buy Serpstat, and do that you can actually fiddle with it and create your own reports on your own domain and things like that. So that's just to show that you can do that not only with Serpstat, but basically with any rank tracker that provides you the list of keywords, the search volumes, and the position of domains within top 100 for each keyword. This is how it will look in the final result. So this is the size of the market share each of the top 20 websites takes for, I'm not sure which keyword I used here, something about candles or mattresses. I used IKEA Bulgaria website. I made a small market niche, like I took a part of the keywords I found about mattresses in Bulgaria. I just didn't want to create a huge project with like 10,000 keywords, so I used a couple hundreds here just to show how it works. So what we see here, the other domains, these are top 20, these are the others. So just 20% of visibility goes to 80 domains within, not 80, but like, except these top 20 domains, they take like 80% of market visibility within a niche of mattresses in Bulgaria, right? So this is a common thing. So 20% is actually even a lot for other domains to take. It indicates that the niche is not that competitive, and you can actually squeeze in. If you see that bottom domains have less than 1%, you can at least compete with these domains if you promote your business right. So here's how I did it, right? I entered the word mattresses to Serpstat, and I collected all the keywords about mattresses in Google Bulgaria database that we have. There was 952 of those. I went then on and used the cluster research thing that we have that finds not only the keywords that have the word mattresses in it, but also the keywords that appear on the pages that often rank for the keywords with mattresses. It's not, I mean, all these have mattresses in here, but you can see that there's 952 additional keywords. And yeah, top ones, obviously, as you can see, like these are two different words, and the further you go, there will be keywords like brand names of mattresses like Dormio and stuff like that that don't have the word mattress in it at all. So you have this big, yeah, here's an example, like Memory Silver Dormio, TED.bg, a lot of people look for Dormio mattresses prices. So you can create a big selection of keywords and analyze the market in full, so to say. Then I went on to search suggestions and found another 1.7 thousand keywords about mattresses. So, and I added them to the rank tracking project to track the keywords I used every 3 days. Right, I created, yeah, here's the list of keywords that I used, it goes down. And I created 2 separate projects, one for Google Bulgaria and one for Google Bulgaria Sophia, just to see how the competition changes within one location. So I could have created like this for every other city. In Bulgaria, depending on where your business is, you can just pick your own location and analyze it there. And I have also used tags, because I made more than just mattresses. I used also clocks, candles, and so on. By creating tags, you create groups of keywords that you want to check separately. And when we analyze a keyword in our rank tracker, we collect positions for all 100 domains that rank for each keyword. So you don't have to enter your competitors' domains or anything like that, because a lot of users ask us about that. Like they start a rank tracking project and they are still used to the fact that some outdated rank trackers, they work like as many domains as you enter your project, you will have those positions. So they check just one domain's position for each keyword. Most modern rank trackers, they work for top 100, top 200, top 50 for each keyword that you work with. So I didn't, for example, track the Dormio.bg. I used IKEA.bg, as you can see. But I still have data for it. I can see how it moves within the SERP, if it's growing and falling, and stuff like that. Just by doing that, so I don't have to do anything else, we have a feature that shows how the market share is changing for each domain. If you're interested where it's found, it's inside the rank tracker. There's a field called competitors. I can show you downstairs if you're interested. But it shows you like these bars that you have here. The orange one is just the highlights. So I hovered my mouse over the orange part, and I can see how a certain domain flows within the market share. So the higher it is, the worse it is. It's a stacked bar graph, which means the lower domains, like they have the highest amount of market goods, so they fall downstairs, except for the other domains, because they are actually kind of irrelevant for analysis within the niche. And to look closer at how it works with different locations and one certain website. So I'm monitoring IKEA.Bulgaria, and this is its visibility as of 27th of March, I think, when I was making this presentation. The group of keywords is candles, and location is Bulgaria in general. So we can see that IKEA.Bulgaria, for all of the keywords about candles, has actually pretty nice positions. Like, I mean, it's in top 10 and actually competitive. Here I changed the location to Bulgaria. This is my mistake. I forgot to change because IKEA.Bulgaria is not actually a good example because it's 3.16 to 3.12, but Maglite.bg, it was 3.17 and changed to 4.22, which means that Maglite.bg is a website that has more visibility in Sofia, in this local area, than in Bulgaria overall, which is what you need to track for a local business. If your store works only in a certain city, you don't have to look at this graph because you'll have big domains like the one that all of the nation uses, instead of the ones that compete within a certain niche. For example, especially it goes to businesses like delivery. They have delivery within cities, something like food delivery or something like that. You don't have to track a food delivery if you work only in Sofia within Bulgaria. You are only interested in visibility inside that one city. More of this, just to show you how the visibility changes based on different groups. So I've created the groups for mattresses, candles, and something else, vases or something like that. The groups that I found inside, the categories that I found inside IKEA.Bulgaria, I just created some groups for those keywords. So as it goes for mattresses, IKEA is actually pretty high. 11% visibility goes to it, and the competitors are not as high. So same goes for same group of keywords in Sofia, but you can see that it's only 8.4 instead of 11, and it changed for all of the top competitors. So the ones that are nationally known will not be as popular within the location, and we can see that other domains have jumped from 10% to 24. So these are the websites that are not in top 20, but just some local good websites. Which also means that inside this niche, inside this local area, it will be much easier to rank a project than it is to rank a project for all of Bulgaria. And here's how the visibility is changing, just to show you. When I hover over some websites, so IKEA.Bulgaria, I can see that on 8th March the visibility was at 7.99%, and as I worked on it, it is on the point of fix it was 9.56. So the visibility has grown. What does it show us? When you use Rank Tracker, usually people just look at how many positions have changed. Like, okay, we have improved the positions for 100 keywords, and we have lost 3 keywords, and the position decreased for 5. Sounds good, right? Well, 100 is in plus and 7 is in minus. But what if those keywords that are in minus are of higher search volume? So you lost your big keywords like buy a mattress, but you have improved positions for keywords like where can I buy a used mattress hobo in Bulgaria with like 2 monthly searches. Okay, you show that to a client and he's like, yeah, okay, it seems like you've improved my positions for 100 keywords, but in fact his visibility has dropped. And it works vice versa. For example, the client may be happy like, guys, I have lost like rankings for 100 keywords, what's going on? So you can show them that we were actually working on the keywords with a higher search volume. We improved your overall visibility. We increased the number of people who will be going to your website rather than just working on optimizing some of the low search volume keywords. Also, you can determine the niche leaders by this analysis. This is more for marketers when you're just starting to work with a certain project you're unfamiliar with, for example, like helicopter engines, right? You have to understand how the niche works, who are the leaders, if you want to promote the website good. So you want to know the leaders. And usually if you type in, like helicopter engines, there will be things like Wikipedia, YouTube. Those are not the leaders you're looking for. So you have to create a certain group of keywords dedicated exactly to the business of your clients. For example, repairing helicopter engines or something like that. And you will see what websites have the most visibility within that group of lower search volume keywords, but related directly to the business that they have. So then you'll have the top websites within that niche, not with Wikipedia or YouTube, but actually the websites that you compete with, and you can analyze those. And also it shows you how complex it will be to rank within a niche based on that lower graph, how much visibility the other domains take. So if you see the top 20 domains take like 98 visibility from that niche, and you only have 2% to work with, because outside of the 2% you'll have to compete with those like big, huge websites. You know that that is a complex niche. If you see that the websites in the top 20 have approximately the same market share, like 5, 10%, 6, 7, and you see that other domains take 40%, that is a clear sign that this niche is not as competitive, it doesn't have a strong leader yet, and you can work with it, which is a good thing to show the clients before you start working on the project. If you collect just some group of keywords and you show them like, here's a graph, you can see that the top 20 domains are taking 98% of traffic from this niche, which means it will be very hard for us to promote your business, which means you can't expect like results fast or anything like that. Okay, I have a few minutes to answer your questions. I assume some will be about Serpstat, some may be about this. If you have questions about Serpstat that you come up after the conference, you can ask them here. Any of these 3 green things have answers to your questions. Whether it's a blog post, we have a lot of them to show you how to work with Serpstat. The bottom green thing is the most important. It's a live support chat when you can just ask a question and within a few minutes get the answer to it. As you work on a project, as you said, something up and you're lost, like, okay, what do I do next? And you can also click this button and request a demonstration of the product from one of the sales managers. They will schedule a demo for you and they will sit with you for like half an hour, and based on your needs and your project, they will show you where you have to click, what you have to do, what you have to analyze, and how it all works. If you want to try it yourself, you can use this promo code OA Serpstat, all lowercase. It will give you 10 days access to our B plan. You can set up the test project, you can actually analyze your website, you can run site audit and do a lot more. You have to activate it by the 10th of April, so, and it will give you access for 10 days. I recommend just using this to do a site audit on your projects. You'll have like, I think 10,000 pages to audit or something for free, which is maybe needed for your projects. Okay, so I'm done with the presentation. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask them. Thank you. Yep.
Ако имате въпроси, не се притеснявайте да го попитате. Ето имаш?
Да. Здравствуй, можно поговорить по-русски?
Да, конечно.
Да. У меня есть вопрос. Как скажется, если ваш скрапер для результат получил геоискажение? Пример из Лондона. Сейчас, окей, это демо-пример. Если я имею ресторан из Лондона, но можно ваш скрапер работает из других географских регионов и представляет меня искажение, результаты, которые я физически увидел физически в Лондон. Если ваш скрапер будет работать, примерно, из Нидерландов или Германии.
Нет, он работает через прокси конкретного региона.
Да, фиксирование искажения, географские результаты.
Да, то есть каждый проект можно настроить там, вплоть до почтового кода, и он будет выдавать тот результат, который увидит человек, который находится в этом регионе и первый раз вводит запрос. Искажение может быть, потому что там может быть история пользователя какая-то, Google уже может знать, чем пользователь интересуется, да, и там если человек заходил 5 раз на какой-то сайт, он будет у него в приоритете, будет выше. Но вот пустой аккаунт, там не зарегистрированный, новый, свежий, первый раз.
Как private? Как private браузер?
Это не русский.
Это как браузер имеет приватный режим для...
Да, как правильно.
Вы имеете, как скажется, пак пример из Объединения Кралства, вы имеете примерно из Манчестер, из Ливерпуль, или только масштабный географский регион, как Лондон?
Нет, и Манчестер, и Ливерпуль, и внутри Лондона даже можно выбрать регион, там, центральный Лондон и так далее. То есть, ну, глубина до почтового индекса. То есть, если взять на примере Киева, я могу взять Киев общий, а могу взять Киев только Оболонь район. Вот.
Благодарю вам.
Други въпроси? Да благодарим още един път на Игор.